At 78, Rob Reiner finally decided to speak honestly about a relationship that shaped his early career and his understanding of acting, his time working with Carroll O'Connor. Reiner was born Robert Reiner on March 6, 1947, in the Bronx, New York, into a household where storytelling and performance were as natural as breathing. His father, Carl Reiner, was a comedy legend, known for writing and acting on Your Show of Shows and later creating The Dick Van Dyke Show. Growing up, Rob watched his father work with some of the most brilliant comedic minds of the 20th century, absorbing lessons about timing, character, and the power of laughter. Yet despite his famous last name, Rob would carve out his own path, becoming one of the most respected filmmakers and actors of his generation. Now, after decades in the spotlight, he has finally revealed the truth about Carroll O'Connor, beyond the rumors, beyond the character, and beyond the myth. A legacy of comedy and storytelling, Rob Reiner's early life was steeped in entertainment. He grew up watching his father, Carl Reiner, build a career in comedy that became foundational to modern television. Carl's influence was enormous, but Rob never wanted to simply live in his father's shadow. He wanted to become his own artist. That desire drove him toward acting and eventually toward directing, where he would find a voice that was uniquely his. Even as a young man, Rob understood the mechanics of storytelling, how to build characters and craft dialogue that felt true. His education was not formal. It was the classroom of show business, filled with improvisation, rehearsal, and the pressure of live performance. This background prepared him for a career that would later move effortlessly between acting, directing, and producing, each role strengthening the other. All in the Family. The role that changed everything. Rob Reiner first became widely known in the early 1970s for his role as Michael Meathead Stivic on All in the Family. The sitcom was groundbreaking, using comedy to confront controversial issues like race, politics, gender, and generational conflict. Reiner's character was a liberal son-in-law constantly at odds with Archie Bunker, played by Carroll O'Connor. The show became one of the most important television programs of its era, and Reiner's performance earned him immediate recognition and respect. The role gave him visibility, but it also tested his range as an actor. Michael Stivic was not simply a comic foil, he was a representation of a changing America. Reiner's ability to play him with both humor and sincerity made him unforgettable. It also set the stage for his transition from actor to director, as he began to understand the deeper power of storytelling beyond the screen. From actor to director. A reinvention. While many actors might have become typecast after such a defining role, Rob Reiner chose to reinvent himself. He moved into directing with a bold, innovative approach. His directorial debut, This Is Spinal Tap, 1984, became a cult classic and redefined mockumentary comedy. The film's deadpan delivery and sharp satire of rock culture fooled some viewers into believing it was real, and it demonstrated Reiner's talent for capturing absurdity without losing emotional truth. From there, Reiner built a filmography that spanned genres, each project showing a different facet of his creative skill. He proved that he could direct heart, humor, drama, and romance with equal mastery. His transition from actor to director was not a reinvention of identity, but an expansion of it, a natural progression for someone who had always understood storytelling from the inside out. A filmmaker of range, his iconic works. Reiner's success continued through the 1980s and 1990s with a string of films that became modern classics. Stand By Me, 1986, adapted from a Stephen King novella, explored friendship and the end of childhood with deep emotional resonance. The Princess Bride, 1987, mixed romance, fantasy, and adventure into a film that became a beloved cultural treasure. When Harry Met Sally, 1989, redefined the romantic comedy with its honest portrayal of love and relationships, and A Few Good Men, 1992, showed Reiner's ability to handle high-stakes drama with tension and precision. Each film displayed his unique ability to balance humor with humanity, and to create characters audiences truly cared about. His films became a blueprint for modern storytelling, and his influence continues to shape cinema today. Reiner's work proved that entertainment could be both intelligent and deeply moving. The actor's touch, supporting roles, and self-cameos. Even as a director, Rob Reiner continued to act. He appeared in films like Throw Mama from the Train, 1987, Sleepless in Seattle, 1993, and Bullets Over Broadway, 1994, demonstrating his adaptability and comedic timing. He often appeared in his own films too, giving himself roles that allowed him to gently poke fun at Hollywood while still contributing meaningfully to the story. His most iconic self-casting was his role as Marty DeBurgi in This Is Spinal Tap, which remains a cornerstone of comedy. He also made memorable cameos in Dickie Roberts, former child star, 2003, and 30 Rock, 2010, showing a self-awareness that fans appreciated. His recurring role on New Girl, 2012 to 2018, introduced him to a new generation, and his appearance in The Wolf of Wall Street, 2013, proved he could still hold his own in intense, modern cinema. His acting career remained a constant thread, connecting every part of his creative life. A personal life of love and family. Rob Reiner's personal life has been marked by two important marriages. In 1971, he married actress and director Penny Marshall, a major figure in entertainment known for Laverne and Shirley and her later success as a director. Their marriage lasted a decade and was a significant period in both their careers. Reiner legally adopted Marshall's daughter, Tracy Reiner, who went on to act in films like A League of Their Own and Apollo 13. Though the marriage ended in 1981, their bond remained a meaningful part of Hollywood history. Later, during the production of When Harry Met Sally, Reiner met photographer Michelle Singer. Their relationship changed not only his life, but also the ending of the film itself. He fell in love and decided to give the movie its famous romantic conclusion. They married in 1989 and raised 3 children together, building a life of stability and love that has lasted decades. The man behind Archie Bunker, the real Carroll O'Connor. For years, fans speculated about the relationship between Rob Reiner and Carroll O'Connor. Their characters represented a generational and political divide, leading many to assume that the tension on screen mirrored real life. But Reiner now clears the air. He describes O'Connor as one of the most brilliant actors he ever worked with, and someone whose intelligence shaped every scene. Reiner explains that Archie Bunker could have been a one-dimensional caricature, but O'Connor gave him humanity, depth, and complexity. He made the character someone audiences could hate, but also understand. Reiner admits he was intimidated by O'Connor's presence and that every scene required him to be at the top of his game. But rather than creating rivalry, O'Connor pushed him to become a better actor through his sheer skill and dedication. A teacher, a friend, a legacy. Reiner also reveals the personal side of Carroll O'Connor, describing him as gentle, warm, and surprisingly shy. Off camera, O'Connor was the opposite of Archie, an intellectual who hated bigotry and used his art to challenge audiences. Reiner remembers O'Connor telling him, "If people aren't uncomfortable, we're not doing our job," a philosophy that deeply influenced Reiner's directing. Their friendship continued beyond All in the Family, and O'Connor's influence shaped Reiner's approach to film, especially in movies like Stand By Me and A Few Good Men. Reiner's truth about O'Connor is clear. The actor was misunderstood because his character was so strong. In reality, he was kind, generous, and deeply committed to the craft. He wasn't just a co-star, he was a teacher and a friend. Outro, the final word. At 78, Rob Reiner's tribute to Carroll O'Connor is a rare glimpse into a private reverence that existed behind one of television's most famous rivalries. Reiner's truth isn't just about clearing up rumors, it's about honoring a man whose artistry shaped him, challenged him, and taught him what acting truly means. O'Connor was not the character he played, but the force that made that character unforgettable. Reiner's words reveal the power of collaboration, respect, and mentorship in an industry that often prioritizes ego over craft. And as Reiner reflects on his own career, from All in the Family to When Harry Met Sally and beyond, he acknowledges that O'Connor's influence continues to live in every story he tells. In the end, the truth is simple. Rob Reiner loved Carroll O'Connor, and he is grateful for the gift of working with one of the greats.